Lee's question.
Yes.
It was, how do the strengths compare to the European signatures? So, like, if you're used to using a 3.25, can you still use that strength, or should you try a different strength?
Okay. So that's a fantastic question, and by far, since the launch of the French cut reed on December 1st, one of the most common questions that I've received. And really, players have been either staying the same, moving up 1 quarter strength. Some players have been finding it softer in comparison, but it does kind of just come down to what's your mouthpiece pairing. Players on more open mouthpieces have tended to stay with the same strength. Players with more closed mouthpieces have tended to go up a quarter strength. In rare circumstances, some players who felt that their number on the European cut was just a hair soft, some of them have gone up a quarter strength to the French cut and even tried another quarter strength up. But again, we actually don't have a lot of data just yet on what every player is preferring. And of course, it does come down to, well, what's your setup? What is your mouthpiece? What is the tip opening? Because that's all going to make a difference in how you perceive the strength. So that's sort of what we're finding. So, I mean, to sum it up, I would say the strength that you're playing on a European cut, or maybe a quarter strength up. Maybe.
Do you want to go into that a little bit about the mouthpieces, what you mean as far as the opening and how that might affect which strength you choose?
Yeah, absolutely. Generally, players, and this is kind of like one of those conventional wisdom things in mouthpieces, not just for clarinets, for all clarinets, but for saxophones as well, that players who play on a closed mouthpiece tend to prefer harder reeds. That's just sort of one of those conventional wisdom bits. Now, players who prefer more open mouthpieces tend to go a little bit softer. And there's, endless variation in this. Some players don't do that. A player on saxophone, like George Garzone, for example, he's using this 9-tip, 10-tip opening and a 4 or 5 strength reed on it. And he sounds fantastic. He sounds incredible. But that goes against what the conventional wisdom is. However, he's doing it and he's making it work and sounds great. So every outlier is an outlier for a reason. It's because it works for somebody. However, the general consensus is that for certain smaller tip mouthpieces, we like to go a little bit softer, and we find playing stronger. Forgive me. They find the stronger reeds on a closed tip mouthpiece more comfortable. There's less likely you're going to overblow. There's less likelihood that the reed's going to close down. Like if you play a soft reed on a closed mouthpiece, the reed has a strong chance of closing down just because the reed is vibrating too much and closes against the tip of the mouthpiece. So that's one of the reasons why that sort of works out that way. And players who like closed mouthpieces prefer these strong reeds because the sound that they're getting out of that is rich and they have a great deal of control with it as well. And you get a little bit more control with a stronger reed because you have to focus your airstream and focus your embouchure a little bit more. And then the sound changes as well.
Totally.
The ultimate answer, unfortunately, though, is you have to find what works best for you. And nobody likes to hear that there isn't one good answer for this. And that's the unfortunate reality, because everyone's oral cavity, this whole situation is different.